What is up, Shark Army? It's me, GameShark, and welcome back to another video. Today I will be showcasing all of the new quality of life changes in Stardew Valley that came with the 1.4 brand new update. And if you don't know what the quality of life changes means, basically it's just little positive changes to the game that makes your life easier when playing and encountering certain things, making things more convenient, which overall will make your time in Pelican Town a lot more enjoyable and simple. So this is a rather big list, many changes got made, and you may have noticed a few of them yourself when playing casually since the update. But Eric Bro made a blog post and a patch note with all of the new quality of life changes. Some of them may be spoilers, but there's probably a lot of hidden ones that you didn't even know was a thing. So let's get into them today on the video as quickly as we can. We'll get through all of them, and we're going to start off with, you can now rearrange the museum artifacts that you donate without having to donate a new one. So you can arrange these whenever you like by coming down to the museum. It's a new ability that you will do. You can now also have the ability to reread all of your received letters at any time. So all the letters you've had in the post, even the old ones, if you go into your collections tab, there's now a new option called letters, and you can read all of these and reread them in case you forgot what one of the letters were, or you need to find out a certain thing. For example, the Secret Santa, your letters are always here to see. You can now have the ability to rotate the toolbar by using tab and control tab. So if you press tab, it will organise it automatically. So for example, if I go in my inventory, I've got the first row being the tools, the second row being the random stuff. If you press tab, it will select through those two, so you don't have to keep going into your backpack all the time. You can literally just use your mouse scroll and go for all of your items. There's now been a notification added when a tool is being upgraded. So if you upgrade your tool, for example, we're going with the steel watering can, you will get a notification when the upgrade is ready. So if we skip to the day it's ready, you will see. If you go into your furniture catalogues, there is now tabs to organise things a lot easier, so you can select chairs, dressers, rugs, so you don't have to keep scrolling all the way through every single item in the game to find what you want. And that is for both catalogues. There is now a current QI coin balance to the Calcio Jack minigame UI. For example, at the top right there, you can see what you are on, so you know how much to bet and how much you've got left. You can see your current coin balance. Every event or scene is now skippable. When you get married, you will now see your wedding day show up on the calendar. Or it will be any upcoming wedding days. If you're on a multiplayer farm, if somebody's getting married, it will now show up on the calendar, like so. The gates can now be attached to just one piece of fence instead of needing fences on both sides, which allows for double width gates, perfect for horses. The hallway to the spouse's room when you're married now matches your bedroom flooring. Giving a gift to a dateable NPC will no longer make your spouse jealous. The cursor has now changed if you point at an animal that has not been petted for the day. When constructing a building on your farm, if you want to place this down and there is an animal in the way, you can now do this and it will bump the animal and move it away. And also, if there is any tilled soil or seeds on the floor, you can now place buildings on there without any obstructions. Collapsing in the mines will no longer make you forget the levels. You will now only lose items and money, but you can keep your current progress in the mines. you will now see the items that you have lost and the money you have lost as well if you do collapse in the mines. And of course, you don't lose the levels. You can now remove hats from your horse by interacting with the horse whilst holding a hat. And that will take that one off, and then you can place the new one on. Finally, we can now trash copper pans and slingshots. We can finally remove and delete them. Yes! Speaking of copper pans, you can now buy one from Willy in his shop after receiving your first one. Guys, we can now stack kegs and preserve jars and any other items that are craftable. This is incredible, including staircases, which are very useful to take down the mines. If you find any bait or fishing tackle equipment in a treasure chest, you can now attach it directly to your fishing rod from the chest. You can now shift click on an item to move it out of your hotbar toolbar, and it will take the item directly down to the bottom part of your backpack, if you have got the upgraded one of course. Shift click your items to move them in and out of your hotbar. When filling your kegs or preserve jars at a faster rate holding fruit or vegetables, you will no longer get the prompt to eat the fruit or vegetable, which means you can now quickly refill all of your kegs with no stopping and pausing by holding the mouse button down. It's the little things in life, guys. Oh wow, why couldn't I have had this years ago? Whilst holding an item, you can now still go to sleep. When playing Junimo Kart, you can now pause the game by pressing P or enter. You can also play the Junimo Kart entirely by using the keyboard and no longer using the mouse. I don't have any animals on the farm, but when you do have animals and you are collecting their products such as milk and wool, it is now easier to do so. They now have a larger hitbox, and using shears in the pail whilst facing animals, multiple animals, it will now find the best match instead of finding the first one. So basically, collecting animal products is much easier, guys. I'd showcase it off, but I have no animals. Interacting with a mill that only has one type of item in it now automatically collects the item instead of opening a chest menu, like so. If you now point an item in your inventory that is required for the community centre, the little Junimo tree bundle button will now pulsate, letting you know that you need it for a bundle. When you are in a shop and you are wanting to sell artifacts or minerals or an item that is required for the museum, if you hover over the item, it will tell you if you are still needing the item for the library or the museum. For example, Gunther can tell you more about this item if you donate it. It will only show that message if you haven't yet already done so. So rather than selling it, keep it to donate and then sell any item that doesn't show that message. Wild bait is now amazing. If you attach this to the fiberglass rod or any rod above that, using the wild bait over the normal bait will provide a chance to catch 2 fish at once. Before, the wild bait was pointless. It had no different effect to the normal bait, but now you do have the chance to get 2 fish as a bonus using the wild bait. Pretty good, right? Pets on your farm, such as dogs or cats, will no longer spawn in positions that block the farmhouse door or corridors. If farm animals or pets are standing on crops that are ready to harvest, this will no longer prevent the crop from being harvested. If trying to plant a fruit tree, it will tell you with a message if something is blocking the tree from potentially growing. Mushroom tree sprouts that grow in fall will now show differently to the other tree saplings, so they are now distinguishable from other trees. If an NPC walks over a chest that you have placed around the town, it will now dump all of the contents out instead of destroying them, so you will not lose the items in the chest. When viewing a bundle, the inventory items for completed slots are now greyed out. You can now push through NPCs at festivals as well as through the town, to avoid getting trapped in some cases. The Queen of the Sauce reruns will now choose an already aired recipe that a player doesn't know. The animation when finding a lost book will now only play once, all the other times will just automatically send it to the museum. Any unclaimed bundle rewards can now be picked up from a Junimo bag in the community centre. Any wild tree seed can now be placed in any diggable tile outside of the farm without needing to hoe it first. When you dismiss the map by clicking on it, you are now returned to the previous menu tab, if there is any. If you have a crop that is required to use a trellis, such as a hop, when it is wilted, it will no longer block your movement and you'll be able to walk through them. The hat shop mouse now sells hats that you've won in festival competitions. Moving the cursor over a crab pot while holding the action button no longer picks it up. The processing time on tapped mushroom trees has changed so that they are now harvestable in the morning instead of midway through the days. So every morning when it is ready, you will now get a mushroom on the tapped tree. Obelisks now have a freebie 2 footprint instead of a freebie 3, and their sprites are unaffected. This means placing down these buildings takes up less room and space, and it is easier to place them somewhere. I don't have animals again, but if you do have farm animals, when you move your cursor over them whilst holding the action button, it will no longer open the inspection menu, which is so much easier to pet farm animals. Dropping an item when collecting rewards from Gunther will now throw the item downwards instead of upwards to prevent the players without magnet rings from dropping items into or out of reach positions. And there we have it, guys. That is all of the big quality of life changes, well, big and little. Some are very helpful and handy and life changing and time saving. There is also a lot of balance changes that has been made with the 1.4 update. This is where it is changes have been made to balance the game at a more fair and better way. But there's quite a few of those if you want to see the balance changes in a separate video to see how the game has changed with things spawning, how much money you earn and how the price of things and things that have been increased and decreased, then let me know down below. I can go through those as well. But this has been the quality of life changes, the things that make the game more enjoyable, some of the life changing things and the time consuming things that just help us play the game a lot more smoothly without any annoyances, which we all bump into from time to time, which is incredible. Really loving the 1.4 update. Hopefully you guys are too. I know it's out for consoles as well, and this video might help you get a better understanding of the update and some of the little things that don't really get put into detail. So if you did enjoy it and you found it very useful, please hit the like button. Sorry if I sound a little bit hurt. I am not very well again. I've currently got a sinus infection, and also sorry for not uploading frequently at the moment. I'm currently moving house, and yeah, if anybody has done that who's watching this video, you know how stressful and how crazy and time consuming it is. I've got to get so much stuff sorted out, and it's hard to record videos, but I've got one out today. Way! Thank you all for watching, guys. Make sure to subscribe if you're new around here and do hit that like button, and let me know down below if there's any more Stardew Valley 1.4 content videos that you want me to mess around with. But until then, I'll see you all on the next one. I'm now going to die quietly. Peace!